The Filler Movie, which, if you haven't heard of that title, you probably are more familiar with the alternate title, which is 1517 to Paris. It's an autobiographical film about three men, all American soldiers, who were traveling via train from Germany to Paris when an armed terrorist carrying about 300 rounds of ammunition attempted to start wreaking havoc on the train. However, thankfully, the gun jammed, and these men were able to subdue him without there being any casualties. And this film stars the real-life heroes playing as themselves. Look, first off, I just want to say, these guys are heroes. Plain and simple. This is a remarkable story. Whatever you think of the movie, whatever I think of the movie, and I'm going to get to it in a moment, these guys are real heroes. The real story is fascinating that they were luckily on this train at this time. Thank God, thank whatever you want to say, that they were here at this time. They were able to stop this terrorist, that there were zero casualties, that the gun jammed, all of that. You can call it a miracle, you can call it happenstance, whatever you want to call it. It is a remarkable story. These guys were brave, these guys were heroes. End of story. All respect to these men. However, I gotta talk about the movie now. Clint Eastwood directed this movie, most known as an actor, but he has also directed several films. Several great films, actually. Play Misty for Me, which is his first from 1973, I want to say. It came out around that time. Also, movies like Unforgiven, Million Dollar Baby, Mystic River are all fantastic movies. Lately, he's been concentrating on making films about real American heroes, such as American Sniper, starring Bradley Cooper, and Sully, starring Tom Hanks, and now 1517 to Paris. However, the difference between those movies and this movie, and why those movies are better, this movie doesn't have accomplished actors. Bradley Cooper is a very accomplished professional, great actor. Tom Hanks, of course, is an accomplished professional, great actor. These three guys, who, again, they are heroes, are not actors. These actors just come off like they just rehearsed the hell out of the script, then came on set and did a couple takes, and then moved on to the next scene, did a couple takes, moved on to the next scene. Yeah, that's all on Clint Eastwood. That's all on the director. Because Clint Eastwood, he's known for being a very laid-back director, a very, let's shoot the scenes, get through the script, just direct the script kind of director. And that can work. Not say that doesn't work, but the problem is when you have actors that aren't experienced in the lead roles, the failings of that sort of directing style really, really, really show. And this movie proves it. Because these guys needed a lot more takes. Every line they say, and when I say every line, I mean it. Every freaking line sounds like it was rehearsed. Like it was just right off the script, maybe a few minutes before action, and they don't come across as realistic, even though they're playing themselves. Everything they say, and some of it just sounds forced, and that's the script itself too, because the lines they're given don't even sound real. There's a scene where they're in Venice, Italy, about, 2/3 through this movie, and they have a sequence, and it's in the trailer, where one of them turns to the other and says, "Do you feel like we're just being pushed towards some sort of destiny, towards some sort of greatness," something like that along those lines. That totally sounds like a line that was just written in this script. It sounds so forced. There is no way they said that in real life before this event occurred. There are other bizarre moments in this movie like that too. Such as, so about the first, I'd say 20, 25 maybe minutes of the movie is them as kids. And one of them's played by The Bully from Wonder, which is a very good movie that came out last year, and I highly recommend that one. And this other kid that has obviously never done anything except maybe a kindergarten play once, probably, I assume, because he's friggin' terrible. And we get a couple scenes early on of the two boys' respective mothers, Judy Greer and Gina Fisher, talking to the principal, and they're just being really, just confrontational. It's like the stereotypical confrontational mother. So they're supposed to be Christian families, because they're going to Christian school. They're saying their kids to a Christian school, but there's a scene early on, I forget if it's the first time or the second time they're in the principal's office. There's a couple, like I said, there's a couple of these, where the first one is not the principal's office, I'm sorry. I'm going to leave this in though. It's their teacher, they're talking to the boy's teacher, And then the mother, I forget which one it was. This is how forgettable this movie is, so I apologize. But whichever mother it was flips out about that and says something along the lines of like, oh, you know, my God is the only medicine my child needs, or something like that. And I understand there actually are Christians that believe that. There are a very, very few minority of Christians that believe that. But the thing about that scene is, the way it's written, she sounds nuts. You know, like, I'm not going to give my kid medicine, you know. My God will provide. It's like, well, yeah, pray, but guess what? He did provide. It's called that medicine. The way that scene is shot, though, it's like we're supposed to side with her. And it's really bizarre. It's a weird contrast. And I don't know where Clint Eastwood wants me to be siding with. It honestly felt like a scene out of a Pure Flix movie or some other bad Christian movie or something. It was really weird. Also, we're told these kids are troublemakers, but we never really see them do anything. All we really see them do is stand outside in the hall talking and not going to class right away when the bell rings. Oh no, that's hardcore rebellion right there. Another thing I want to mention while I'm talking about the opening is that a few of the shots early on are out of focus. Like, actually out of focus. Like, it was so bizarre. I'm watching the movie, and all of a sudden, it looks like a home video. What the hell? I mean, when you take a film class, or at least read a book about how to use a camera, one of the first things they will tell you, one of the first, like, 5 most important things they will tell you, focus every single time you shoot. That is such a rookie mistake. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Clint Eastwood has directed movies that I've seen, like I mentioned before. How are there any shots that are out of focus in this movie? How did he let that slide? Did he just not look at the footage, and then when he got to the editor, he went, oh shit, oh damn it, I guess we don't have any other footage, we just gotta live with it, I guess, now. I just was baffled watching that. I couldn't believe that there was any shots. That is unprofessional. Honestly, this movie just needed to be edited down. This film is 94 minutes, but it somehow feels 3 times its length. So much of this movie is boring. And the thing is, too, because it's based on a true story, and we even see little bits of the actual event, well, not the actual event, but the train scene at the end that's coming throughout the film, I guess to, like, you know, keep us invested. They have nothing else, honestly. It's true. And I guess they knew that. But it's like, edit it down. We get to see not only their childhoods that we don't care about. You know, there's a moment, you know, like I said, one of the kids has to move away and live with his father. And it's like, oh no, are they ever going to see each other again? Yes, they're going to see each other again. Because we know they're on the frickin' train together. We know that they meet up as adults at some point. And honestly, it's only a couple scenes later we see them talking over Skype as adults. So the last third of the movie or so is, of course, their trip to Europe, where it, of course, will eventually lead to the train and that whole event. And we get to see every minute, boring-ass detail about them going to Venice, going to Amsterdam, going to Rome, going to Germany, and then finally to Paris on the train. And it's so uninteresting. Oh my God. How do you make all these countries, including Rome, one of the most fascinating places. Just Italy, the country, is like beautiful. Actually, a lot of Europe, honestly, it's beautiful. Like, all these countries look boring. The cinematography is so bland and boring that it makes Rome, with all this wonderful history, look so uninteresting. The freaking Everybody Loves Raymond episode. You remember that sitcom, the 2-parter, where they go to Italy as a family, a sitcom with the usual sitcom cinematography, which isn't, of course, great cinematography, still managed to get through the beauty of Rome and Italy in general in a 2-part episode than this freaking movie. I couldn't believe how bad and bland and boring this place looked. I finally get to the train that is almost interesting at this point because it takes so long to get there that I just don't even give a rat's ass anymore, and I just want to be able to leave the theater. I mean, don't get me wrong, I will say the train sequence itself is well shot. It's the only part that's kind of well shot. It is the most interesting part because it actually happened. But because it took so long to get there, I don't even care. And the acting is so bad and unbelievable, again, that I just, at this point, I just wanted the movie to be over. And, oh, by the way, I want to mention the real life event. There were 4 men who stopped the terrorists. But because, you know, this is directed by an American, and these 3 other men were American heroes, and that guy was, like, I think German or something, so we don't care. Yeah, we don't care, because America! I just thought I'd let people know that who might not know. There was actually another guy, but because he's not American, who gives a shit about him, right? America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah, freedom is the only way, yeah, terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, fuck yeah, I don't know, I guess I don't know the behind the scenes there. Maybe he didn't want to be involved at all, I don't know, but it's like, you don't even have someone else play the guy, you have nothing? Come on, that was ridiculous. But anyways, this has to be one of the worst biopics I've ever seen in my life. This is worse than some Christian films. I've brought up Christian films. It's not strictly a Christian film, but it felt like one, kinda. Here, this movie was boring, nothing happens, and then finally at the end, you just don't care anymore. I'm gonna give 1517 to Paris 1 star. Look, again, I encourage people to look up the real life story because these guys are heroes and they should be honored, just not for this bad, bland of a movie. It's actually kind of an insult to the real people that this movie was made. It's that just boring. So anyways, that's it for my review of 1517 to Paris, and my review of Black Panther will be coming out very soon, so just hang on and keep watching and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.